Hi there and welcome to this video tutorial for VBL Glamour. Now this is a quick start guide, so we're going to jump straight into it and skip over a lot of the details. However, if you want to know more, if you want to know the details, please do look at the user manual. This has a lot of information, including everything we're going to learn here in the quick start under the quick start section. So please do check this out when you get a chance. All right, let's jump straight into it. So we're starting off just in a blank third person project. The first thing we're going to do is make sure we have the plugin installed. So if you install it to the engine, make sure you then go to edit plugins and activate the plugin. You will be prompted to restart, so let's do that. Okay, upon restarting, it's going to ask you if you want to create all of these tags. Now VBL Glamour requires a bunch of tag categories to function correctly, so please choose yes for this. It'll automatically create the tags or the tag categories that we need. And then we can add our own tags to define slots, layers, body types, etc. for our own system. So please choose yes and okay. Okay, we're back in the project and VBL Glamour is installed and activated. The first thing we're going to do is go to our project settings and define a bunch of gameplay tags. VBL Glamour uses gameplay tags to manage a lot of its systems. So we're going to add in a bunch of tags to define how our modular character system is going to work. So if we go to gameplay tags, we can choose Glamour and you can see all of these tags that have already been created for us. For now, what we want to do is we want to make sure we have a few layers for our modular character system. So we've got this Glamour layer base. We're going to add another subtag to this and call it Glamour layer hair. If you want details on how layers work, please check the documentation. And we're going to add that. We need to also add a bunch of slots. So if we go to slots, let's add a whole bunch. So each modular character slot, you're going to want to have one of these. So let's just go ahead and add this. I'll start with the head and work my way down. Head, chest, and I will skip ahead. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to set and we're going to add a subtag called body. Because that's what we're going to be doing in this quick start guide. You might have other sets like Dark Knight set, for example, or Mage set. That's just an example. We're just going to use the body set. We're also going to go to body type tags, and in this case I only have a human female, so just human female. Again, you can call these tags whatever you like as long as they're consistent throughout your modular character system. Okay, that's enough tags to get us started. Now I've gone ahead and added a whole bunch of meshes for my modular character to the project. You can use whatever sets you want. If you want these just to try it out, they are in the example project, which you can download. And what we're going to do is we're going to build our Glamour database. The idea is that we build the database and then later on our Glamour component can pull from that database at any time. It's really handy because if you change just one tag, like change it to a male character, as long as you've got the male version of that character set up in the database, it can instantly swap over all the items that you're using. But that's a bit more of an advanced topic. Let's just add these to the database now. We're going to start with Glamour Editor. So Tools, Glamour Editor, and we'll get this new editor here. Let's click on Bulk Import, go to where we had our meshes stored, and we can add them all. We're going to get this bulk import list here. There's actually one that I don't want, full body. We don't need the full body. We've got all the parts. So I'm just going to hit the X and delete that one. And we get a bunch of errors on the side and it says tags not set. And that's because we need to set the set, slot, and body type tag for each of these items. Now this can be a little tedious and there are ways to automate it, but that's out of the scope of this quick start guide. Please check the documentation for that. It is in the project settings. So in future, when you're adding 20, 30, 40, 50 items at a time, you can automate this tag setup. So I'm just going to quickly set up these. So these are all going to be body type human female. I'm just going to copy that and paste it throughout. All right, the next is the the set, and this is just the body set. It's the base body for characters. I will note that for hair, I actually want something else. So I will go to set and add a subtag and call it hair.pony because it's a ponytail. So we can make tags for our hairs separately if we like. And I'll change that to the hair ponytail. And same for the accessories. I'm going to add a set for accessories, just as an example there. Next is the slot. Now we've already created a whole bunch of the slots, so we can just add them here. So ears accessory is what I made the slot for the earring. So this is the head. I'm just going to search head, etc. And we're just going to fill out all the slots. Okay, so I've filled out all of those tags and you can see the errors have gone away. The reason this is important is because these tags need to be unique. Each item needs to have a unique combination of tags so that there's no duplicates in the database. Again, it's pretty tedious, but we can automate this system later. All right, so if we hit import, we'll be asked if we're sure we want to create those assets. Yes, and we're going to choose where we want to create them. Just create a folder in your project. I'm going to call it Glamour, and we can save all our Glamour items in there. You're rarely going to have to actually deal with these items individually. However, they are stored as separate assets for the sake of modularity, for the sake of version control and working in teams. All right, so now if we have a look at Glamour here, we can go expand, and you can see that our Glamour items have been categorized based on their tags, and we can preview them now by just simply clicking on them and having a look at, well, what they look like here. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a profile, which is going to let us build a character. So let's hit create profile at the top, and I'm going to save this profile in a folder called profiles. You can save it any way you like. It's just a data file that the Glamour component is going to use to construct your character. So let's call this GP for Glamour profile body base, just as an example. You can create profiles for any character. You can create profiles for just pieces of gear. Once our Glamour profile is created, click on it, expand this Glamour save data here, and we can start building our character. So for body type, we're just going to choose human female, and we'll skip the rest for now because we haven't set up material sets. That's out of scope for the quick start, but we're going to add 2 layers. In the first layer, we're going to call base, Glamour layer base, and the second layer we're going to call Glamour layer hair. I'm going to put the base body here, and we're going to put the hair and the earrings on the hair layer. All right, so in here, let's add 6 items, and this is basically where we define what we want in each slot. So if I put the head slot there, I'm going to say use the body. You can see as soon as I click that, it's shown up here. It's put the head in. Let's do the same for the rest. I'm actually going to copy this Glamour set body tag because we're going to use that a lot. Paste it in there, and now I can just do chest. Chest shows up. I'm going to do these for the rest of the slots and skip ahead. Okay, we needed 1 more for the hands. All right, there's our base character. Let's then go and do the second layer, which is our hair layer. And we only need 2 for this. One's going to be the hair, so the hair slot. And we're going to put our ponytail, and there it shows up. And the other one's going to be the earrings, which is the earrings accessory slot. And we can choose accessory earring 1. And we can see that has shown up there. All right, our character profile is built, and we can see that it is building properly, and we have this asset here. If we right click this and choose find asset, you can see it has been stored here. I'm actually meant to put it in the profiles folder, which was a mistake. There we go. Let's just hit file save all just to make sure we haven't lost all of our assets. All right, we've created the minimum database and a character profile so that we can start creating our character. We're going to modify the third person character in the default project to use this. All right, so open up the BP third person character, and we can go through the full edit mode, and we're going to add a new component and search VBL Glamour. That's the component we need, and we're going to quickly set it up in Blueprint. There's not a lot to do. Okay, so drag in VBL Glamour, and the first thing we want to do is register skeletal mesh component, and this is basically going to tell the system, tell VBL Glamour which skeletal mesh it's allowed to use for constructing its mesh. And we can just drag our skeletal mesh component here. This is just so that, you know, it has more flexibility. You don't accidentally use one that you don't want to. The next thing we want to do is we want to call load glamour on the VBL Glamour component, but I'm actually going to choose Q load glamour. This is just a way to prevent it from loading every single frame. If you've got like 100 characters, it's not going to load them all in one frame if you do Q load glamour. Alright, so that is the blueprint side of it set up. We just need to set up the actual component here. First things first, we can just choose our Glamour component, our Glamour profile that we created. Just plug it in there. The next thing we need to do is we need to set up a skeleton. Because VBL Glamour doesn't know what skeleton we're going to use until it's stitched the mesh, we need to define some things for the skeleton. In this case, we are only going to be using one. You might have a different skeleton for male and female. In this case, we only have this one. So let's set that, and we will choose the animation instance that we will use with that. In this case, I'm just going to use ABB Quinn. And we can also set the physics asset that we want to use with that. And there we go, that is all set up. That should now function correctly. So if we have a look at our viewport, you'll see that we do have our mannequin, but that will change at runtime when we hit play, because we're going to load the glamour that is slotted into here. So if we hit play, and there we go, our character has been dynamically stitched at runtime into a single skeletal mesh. Now that's going to wrap up the quick start tutorial for VBL Glamour. There is a lot more to VBL Glamour. Again, please do look at the documentation. There will be other tutorial videos going more in depth into different aspects, so please do check those out when they come out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.